To everybody, let's see who's here. Vern 85, Illadre, Gerald. Vern 85, Ernest, Langan, Cool Gent, appreciate it. Shane, Keith, Ruth, was it Solomon, Link, David, Black Rain, Ed Niece. I'm just call you King. Let's see. Black Black Introvert. Intro, is it? Black Intro, how do I get it wrong? Black Intro TV. R Music, let's see. I got Jared. True, Psych, Ricky E245, Robert, see Ednice, Garrison, Terrence, Steven. I turned 35 today, Jay, and I'm in Monk's Corner on contract. Well, happy birthday to you, Steven. And be careful out there, according to Charlemagne the God. You might want to be careful out there. Wesley, Zeke, what's going on? Make sure y'all like the stream. We're gonna talk about Western women. In particular, Lori Harvey, who Future dissed in a song. Well, he basically told people who listen to the song that telling Steve Harvey, I don't want her. Because I guess Steve Harvey never embraced Future. You know, Future wasn't good enough for Lori, even though Lori is still out here in these streets. Shout out to Illadre. I'm ready for you to clown these lames. Well, I'm going to go on Illadre. Robert says Jasmine is here. So, okay, shout out to Jasmine. Shout out to Jasmine and Robert. And this is a side note, too. I told y'all that certain battles are going to have to be fought. You know? Certain battles are going to have to be fought. And I'm willing to get in there and fight those. Y'all claim all we do is talk about women. So why don't we talk about the female identified males out here? Thanks, Ed Niece, appreciate it. So why don't we get out here and talk about these female identified males, right? We got a lot of those. I just think overall, man, you got women that are choosing some of the worst of men. And you got men who are some of the worst to choose from, but they always end up in relationships. You know? Shout out to Liana. Hey, JDB, here's my late fee. Like the stream. Appreciate it.
Hey, JDB, here's my late fee. Stream liked.
Thank you. Oh, yeah, we're going to talk about Future, man. Future dissing Lori Harvey. It proves my point that no matter how much these women pick and choose, they always choose the wrong guys. And we're always to be blamed for why they choose the wrong guys, right? All this pickiness. Like, how can you be picky and still choose the wrong guys who end up dissing you in a song? I don't get that. You still end up choosing guys that end up dissing you in songs. Saying Steve Harvey, tell her I don't want her. To tell Steve Harvey I don't want her. Those are the men y'all are choosing. But you know what's crazy is that a lot of the times these guys will be like the defenders of women. Some of the main simps are the biggest misogynists. It's not the men who are red-pilled, who are going their own way. It's the guys who claim that they are fighting for these women. They want to protect these women, but they'll be the main ones to dog them out. They always dogging them out. Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Shout out the link. Jay, you see the dollar store, Derek Jackson spewing all that. There's a certain person I've seen some of his videos where I guess he's giving women advice. He's giving women advice on how to deal with men and basically telling women to don't take less. Listen, those are the guys who are dogging out these women. They're the main ones dogging out these women, are the ones who are trying to give them quote unquote advice. No, what I'm saying is this. If you picky and you have all these options, why would you choose a guy you've been warned about? Lori Harvey was warned about Future, I'm sure. Steve Harvey didn't like Future, but she chose him anyway. That's what I'm saying. You know his reputation and you still got with him anyway. These are the type of males these women are choosing. Y'all cannot tell me any differently. They be warned about these guys and they choose them anyway. I don't know if they think that they're going to change these guys. That never happens. It never happens. You can't change a person from who they are. This is who they are. But they think that because of their looks and because of their body, that once, even if the relationship doesn't work, he's not going to say anything about her. But what happens when he does talk about you? When he basically says, I don't want her no more. You know? Why would you even put yourself... Why do you think she went from Future to Michael B. Jordan? It's like two different extremes. And I want a lot of women to understand, you're not going to be the it girl forever. You're not going to be the it girl forever. At some point, you're going to be forgotten about. Somebody else is going to come along who's going to gain all of these males' attention. And you're going to be pushed to the back burner. And a lot of women fear that. That's why they try so hard to date this guy entertainer, that entertainer, because they want to be seen as it girl. And they are obsessed with not being forgotten about. So if they can stay in the public eye and have people care about who they dating, that's all they want. But it's clear to me that Lori realized she may have made a mistake with Future. That's why she went with Michael B. Jordan. Two extremes. Both of them are nothing alike. And Steve Harvey does approve. It's almost like Lori went back in time when she was dating a soccer player, Memphis, right? The parents loved him, right? He was going to marry her. Then she ended up with this entertainer, that entertainer, this entertainer. It's like, how long are you going to be doing that? How long are you just going to be in the streets? You do know it has a shelf life, right? Now, I will say this. Maybe this is it for Lori Harvey as far as her being in the streets, being with this guy, that guy. Maybe she learned her lesson from dealing with Future. But I don't know. I'm skeptical. I'm always skeptical. When attention can be had, a lot of these women will do whatever it takes to maintain that. And a way for them to maintain that is by dating men in the public eye. Always being seen in public. Like with Trey Songz, right? Nobody even knew Trey Songz was dealing with her until they was out and about and somebody caught him with the camera. And remember he tried to hide her in the car? Like that type of stuff, right? It's like how you get caught up in those situations. Then you go from, didn't you date Justin Combs to dating his dad? Then you go from all of that to now you with Michael B. Jordan, right? The quote unquote nice guy, the good guy, right? You would think that maybe she's done. I don't know, because attention is a drug to a lot of Western women. A lot of Western women, their drug of choice is to get attention because of their body, to date men in the public eye, okay, to try to be some kind of social media activist, to talk about politics. You know, Cardi B does that. She always tries to be like, when anything is trending, she always wants to talk about it, and half of the time she doesn't know what she's talking about. Well, that's being generous. Most of the time she doesn't know what she's talking about. But that's what you have. You have those elements of the modern day Western woman. Any way that she can get the spotlight on her and she can trend, she's going to do it. But for how long are you going to be able to do that? And then you get with these guys like Future, and then when they dog you out and then they dish you on rap songs, who's to blame for that? Who's really blamed for that?
Lesson learned after dating Future again? LMAO.
Appreciate that, Liana. Shout out to you. Yeah, you would think a lesson that's learned, but a lot of times lessons are learned the hard way. And because, again, she's still a young woman, you know, young people gonna make mistakes, but she grew up in a 2-parent household. Now, Steve Harvey may not have been her biological father, but he played the role of a biological father. He played that role. Shout out to everybody that's here. Make sure you like the stream. Now, I've seen where you've had some people try to say, well, there's no such thing as a good guy. Okay, if there's no such thing as a good guy, then how come there are men who are able to get with women and have long-lasting relationships? How come those still occur? It occur because those men may not be perfect, but they're perfect enough for that woman to want to be in a relationship with them long term. And it tends to work out for both of them. But I think for me, when you have a guy like Future who has a reputation, a guy like Future with multiple baby mamas, when you saw all that coming and you still decide to get into a relationship with him, are you really surprised when he then says disrespectful things about you? Now, I don't know who ended this relationship. This relationship kind of ended privately because Future's not not a public person like that. Lori is. Lori never wants to end a relationship publicly. She always ends it. You know when Lori Harvey's single when she's with somebody else. You know, it's never a situation where she's just single for a little while. She right back in another relationship. It wouldn't surprise me at all if her and Michael B. Jordan, you know, were cool for a while, and due to the CV and people being at home more, they were able to get together, because I'm pretty sure Michael B. Jordan is a busy man. I'm pretty sure he is a busy guy. And he's not really able to go on dates like that. He's not really, able to do that stuff or go on vacations too much because he's a busy guy. He does a lot of filming. So I guess this was their opportunity to get together. And they did. And Steve Harvey is happy, and maybe that's why Future wanted to rein in on his parade. But y'all want to know why these women are so mentally screwed up? Because they choose these males who are mentally unstable themselves, who do not respect women, no matter if she's good or not. Do not respect what a woman does for her. But you know what's crazy? These same males will tell you, you need to respect women. But bro, you don't respect women. Y'all see all these guys who claim that, they are pro-feminism. Y'all know those types. They're pro the women being able to be successful and the women this and the women that. Y'all know those guys, right? Those be some of the main womanizers. I mean, look at Joss Whedon, the director Joss Whedon. Joss Whedon, man, he was wilding out. During his 90s run when he was producing Buffy the Vampire Slayer. When he got his start in Hollywood. And now all of it is coming to light. But this guy is a quote-unquote male feminist. But they're some of the biggest womanizers out there. So we can't just say that there's a certain prototype for men who are going to treat women good or bad. But when you have a guy, again, that has multiple baby mamas, multiple children, sleeping with married women, and you still decide to get into a relationship with this guy publicly, knowing that your parents will not approve. Lori Harvey's own mother does not approve of her dating celebrities. But did she listen to her? No. Because a lot of these girls think that they think they're smarter than they really are. They think they know the world until they get in the world and they realize it's not all that she thought it would be. It's not all what they thought it would be. They figure out real fast that if you're not careful, you may end up, like some of these women who end up having kids with these guys, and these guys just abandon them. How many stories have you heard of women who had all these things going for themselves, and then they end up getting pregnant by one of these dysfunctional males, and the guy just disappears on her? He won't embrace the child, and now she's stuck being a single mother when that's not what she wanted. That's not something that she was looking forward to. But she got herself in that situation because she was thinking that she could turn this guy's life around, and that never really happens. Make sure y'all like the stream, huh? A lot of these guys, you cannot save them unless they want to save themselves. And if they don't want to save themselves, don't deal with them. But again, here come they have swagger, they have this and that. No, you saw the fact that there's some dysfunction there, and they fit a certain stereotype. You think that's masculine, because there's the stereotype of what they think masculinity is, and they get caught up in that. They get caught up in what they think a man is, and then they realize once he done got her pregnant, he doesn't have the characteristics of manhood. A lot of these guys, these males of today, don't have the characteristics of true manhood. A lot of these guys are stuck in mental adolescence. They never had a father figure themselves. They grew up around a mother where the only thing they learned from her was how to live off of other people and base every decision in their life off of emotions. Off of emotions. So because of that, they make emotional decisions and they deal with women in an emotional manner. And that's when things really turn upside down. because then they get in relationships with women and they conduct themselves in a very emotional manner. They conduct themselves in a very emotional manner. So, in understanding how the world is, we have to be able to handle ourselves accordingly. We have to be able to think with logic. Now, I know we're not always going to be logical. There's going to be times when, we get out of character and we say certain things, certain decisions are made, but we have to make up for that by saying, okay, I'm going to keep myself out as less BS as possible. That's why, again, I tell men this all the time. You have to be careful of the type of women that you want to date, that you put your energy into, because you may not get the investment that you thought you were going to get. You may end up getting the wrong investment. You may end up ruining yourself and your future over the wrong woman. So be careful. That's what I would tell a lot of guys. Be careful. Be careful who you put your energy, time, and thought into, because you may deal with somebody that may emotionally traumatize you. Do you know how many people are emotionally traumatized by exes to the point to where they hate relationships, they hate any type of intimacy, they have a hard time connecting with people, and because they have a hard time connecting with people, it destroys any chance they have of finding any type of capable relationship. Make sure y'all like the stream. Likes are free. Likes are definitely free. So when y'all see all these single people who've been single 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, I think it has a lot to do with the fact that they intimacy for them has been destroyed. Intimacy for them has been destroyed. And a lot of Western women have been destroyed because they're out here choosing men for the wrong characteristics. Instead of them noticing the red flags, they ignore the red flags. They ignore the red flags because they don't want anything to stand in their way of being able to be with the man that they choose. They're not going to let nothing stop them. But I'm telling you right now, you are responsible for your own dysfunction. If you're dealing with men that you know have red flags, you know something is wrong, and you get with them anyway, that's a problem, and that's a choice that you made. And you have nobody to blame but yourself. So if you got Future dissing Lori Harvey in a song, it is because he never really cared for her like that, and he only saw her as a trophy, as a conquest. And he wanted to throw it back into Steve Harvey's face like, yeah, I was with your stepdaughter, now I'm not with her no more. I don't want her no more. Just like he did with Scotty and with Larsa Pippen. Want to throw that back in his face. But karma is, the type of karma you get for that, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? Is it really worth that backlash to have to go through that? I would say no. I would say no. Trying to be rebellious. I'm talking to you Western women now. You're out here trying to be rebellious. You're out here, thinking that you're making your own decision. You're living your life. You're enjoying it. Okay. But what if you live a long life and you have to live with the regrets, the bad decisions, the years of loneliness? You know how many women, when they get ran through in their early to mid 20s, And then they're so mentally screwed up because of all the men that they've been with, especially all the dysfunctional men they've dealt with who are abusive, men who disrespected them verbally, just tore them down all the time, dealt with other women, all those different types of males that they deal with over the years. By the time these women are 35, they are useless. They are useless. And the thing is that they think that somehow if they just read books and take courses, it's going to change the damage that has been done to them. But no, you can't change that damage overnight. It's going to take years. And by then, is anybody that you want especially going to want you back? Are they going to want you back? Because of all the damage mentally and physically you've done to yourself, reading books and taking courses is not going to be enough. Getting on social media and tearing down men is not going to do anything. All it's going to do is it's going to drive you even crazier. It's going to drive you even crazier. So yeah, you're having fun right now. You're living your life. Tattoos all over your body, all over your face. You're living life. But what happens when you are in your 30s and you're forgotten about? Nobody talks about you. Nobody's really hitting you up like that. What happens? You don't got all this surgery done. Then what? You're going to be yesterday's news. That is your future. All the guys that wanted to deal with you when you're in your prime, they're not going to want you no more. Because there's other women now who are in their prime that they are focused on. You're not. They see you as damaged goods, as a lost cause. This is why you have to be able to be better prepared for how you want your life to be moving forward and not taking all these steps back. Not saying that you can't have fun, but you need to be careful of the type of males you're dealing with, especially guys that have red flags. These guys have all types of red flags, and you ignore it because you're dysfunctional. Shout out to Snake Eyes. Same females are getting played by bad boys are the same females that played the good guys. Right. They be like, what's up, Redbone? These are the same women that be like, nice guys are too nice. They need a guy with some edge. They need a guy with some edge. What does that do for a relationship? Why do you need a guy with edge? Are you going to need a bodyguard? Are you going to need somebody to protect you every day you walk out the house? What do you mean he has to have an edge to him? An edge for who? Like, I mean, I don't get it. Not every guy who's dysfunctional, not every guy who treats you with the semblance of dignity is weak. I just don't get this notion that men who treat women like they have some dignity is considered weak. That says a lot more about you. That tells me that you're used to being cussed out. You're used to being called names. You're used to being belittled. You see women like that, they're done. They're done. When you have women talking about how some guys are just too nice, those are women that they're used to men who verbally talk down to them and berate them, treat them like dirt. They're used to guys like that, guys who cheat on them. They're used to that. They're not used to a guy treating them with the semblance of respect. So again, those women are done. There's no hope for women like that. Women like that will forever, not forever, but they will end up leading a very lonely life with no love whatsoever. Shout out to Marlon. Appreciate that, man. Super sticker. That's why these women need to be careful about the men they choose. Salute to everybody that's here. Listen, we all have an opportunity to make choices. I'm not here to tell nobody how to live their life. So do not take it as that. I just want y'all to understand that there are consequences to actions. There's consequences to actions. You got this particular female comparing me to somebody else. Once again, you're comparing me to somebody who clearly hates their entire being and they want everyone to know it. Yeah, these females are hurt. They're coming to me comparing me to other women. They're comparing me to the women they watch. Nothing like those women. And there's no reverse, because those, see, I speak facts. I speak facts with logic. Now I do go in, but why not? Especially when I'm live. I don't sit here and make PowerPoint presentations about what race of person is with who. A lot of y'all got to understand that when I speak on what's going on with women, it is because it's them out here who are creating the havoc with their feminism, with their we need equal rights and we need protections and all this. But you see videos of them putting hands on men. That stuff needs to be addressed. That stuff needs to be talked about. That stuff needs to be talked about. I don't care who these women date. I don't care. When I see them doing things that I feel like are detrimental, I'll speak on it. I don't go out here randomly caring about who people are with, who they are dating. That matters not to me. There are plenty of women out here. I'm not pressed. Okay? I'm not pressed at all. A lot of y'all are really pressed about who us as melanated men are dating because you can't get one. And you want to blame everybody else for why you're just dysfunctional. You're a dysfunctional Western woman who don't know how to get help. So you go out here and you seek to explain the pain away by saying, you know what, nothing is my fault. I've chose nothing but losers and idiots, but that's not my fault. It's theirs. They are the blame for why I can't choose nobody. That's why I'm always a step above and two steps ahead of these people. Because I understand the way the world works. And I understand that a lot of women are causing their own demise and they're bringing everybody else down with them. Now you got these males, you got some of these simps that will defend women no matter what because they need them. They need them for a place to stay. They need them.
Trolls on here giving you clout. Return from whence you came.
Shout out to M. Taylor. I mean, people are always going to feel some type of way about me. I'm used to it. I'm used to people getting hurt, getting upset, getting angry about what I'm saying. And they're always going to come to the real. And I am the real deal when it comes to speaking on what's going on. That's why they're here. That's why they're here. And I know that there are people out here who understand me. And that's why their lives ain't as screwed up as others. Hey, Jay. Happy Thursday, and you're right. So many bitter females in my family. We have just gave up and always talking bad about men, shaking my head, and then try to tell you what to do with your man. Right, that's why. Okay, let's put you in the corner. You don't come in my chat room. talking tough and saying crazy things. You heifers are guests in my chat. Don't get disrespectful in here, okay? Anyway, yeah, Redbone, I do that too. I don't deal with family members or even old friends that I feel like their mind state is not right. And a lot of times you can't talk to women. Modern women, like, you can't talk to them. So you keep your distance from them. A lot of these people are crazy. They are delusional. Don't let them keep you off your path. A lot of you are on the right path and the right track. Don't even go there with them. Just like you got these people that they want to come to me, but where's your man? Where's your man? All up in my face and shit. All in my face. Get a goddamn man. Get out my face. But yeah, man, let me take some phone calls, see what y'all want to say. Make sure y'all like the streams, like and share the stream. All right. Shout out to Jasmine Ortiz. Those females claim they want to date a guy with some thug in them, but then cry when he knocks their lights out. That's the story of a lot of these women, Jasmine. They want the bad boys with some swagger, with edge, with some hood in them, until he ends up turning on them, because see, they think these guys are weak. Let me tell you dudes something. All you dudes who claim that you hood and you street, a lot of these women think you're weak, bro. They think they can control you. They think they can control you. They think that you're weak. Yo, what's going on?
Yo, Jay the Black.
What's up?
Not much, man. This is Al Mack, man. I'm up under my government name. My real name Arab Kennedy. I be commenting on your videos and shit, but what a lot of people don't know, man, is I just posted I just wrote on your timeline. I'm 55 and I'm from Boston, but I live in Columbus, Georgia.
Okay.
And I've been all over this country and all that, but one of my homies I did some prayer time with, he like on the spiritual Israelite Hebrew tip, he was like, read Isaiah chapter 3, verse 16, man. It's a curse that we are under, man. We say that they'd be cursed to lose their hair. That's what the weeds and the wigs and all that shit is.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why like 80%, 75% of them like overweight, and then they'll have a foul stench. They'll have a foul stench between their legs.
Wow.
All that, the whole thing about pussy smelling like fish, you gotta clean your pussy and all that. 3 things: they'll lose their hair, they'll be overweight, they'll be fat, and they'll have a foul stench between their legs. See, so it goes way back, man. Then that right there is the curse, and then the civil rights and the integration thing. The only group of people it benefited was the black females when Kennedy and Lyndon B. Johnson came up with the housing thing where they would get free housing, man. They're having kids not because they are mothers and they love kids, man. They're having kids to have a roof over their head and income coming in. If they can't get the money from the child support, then they can still get money like to live and shit like that, man. They don't really have to have no job. They don't really have to have no job, man. They'll get their rent and their utilities paid, and they'll get a food stamp card. You know what I mean? So but what it is, man, what I see here and everywhere else, I'm telling you, you can see it in their eyes, man, whether they 16, 17, 18 with the platinum blonde hair. I'm talking about with the wig, whether it's a wig or obvious wig. You can see it in their eye, man. They are internalizing. Look here, bro. Let me tell you, man. From the heart. This is on my mama, man.
Okay.
On God.
All right.
You can see it. They are taking pride. They know that they are single-handedly destroying the whole race. They know that. What they're doing is they're having the kids, the people that they have power over. They can't have power over to do. OG told me not too long ago, he said, the reason why they bleach your clothes, they cut up your clothes, key your car up, bust your windows out, and fight your tires, is because they can't whoop you. God, the Creator made it that way. A woman cannot physically, unless she like no karate or whatever, or way bigger to do. 9 times out of 10, or shit, 9.9, a woman cannot beat you physically, so she does other things to manipulate you and get back at you because she can't do nothing with you physically. So that's where the whole 911 come in. As soon as you ain't got to put their hands up. If you not doing what she wants you to do, you fuck around with other bitches. They're gonna call the police because they are the agents of white supremacy. What, man? Look, man. You ever heard of the term honky?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm from Boston. We didn't call them crackers up. We call them honky. You know where that term came from?
Where it came from?
From honking horns. During segregation in the South, when the police used to come and call what they call it, like across the tracks or whatever, they would honk the horn. Police cars. Black females would come out their house, get in the backseat of the police car. He would drive off. Either he would fuck them one-on-one or take them somewhere to get train ran on them, and then he would bring them back. They've been fucking white police for the longest, man. They've been fucking them. That's why they're so quick to call 911 on you, because they have a history with white policemen. It's deeper, man, than what a lot of people think, man. It ain't really about reading books, man. You got to talk to older people, man. My mama 80, going on 81, and she tell me all the time, I don't know why y'all mad at them. They've been doing this for the longest. You can't make them. You can get mad all you want. You can beat them up and kill them and all that. You can't make them do opposite of what they've been doing. That's what they do. Females, just like in nature, whether it's a bird, a feline, or canine, whatever, it's the whatever dominant, whatever the alpha male is. And right now, the symbol of alpha male is the white man. It's just in their nature. If the white man can put his knee on your neck and kill you, look at all the people that were standing on the sidewalk. Did nobody either they had a gun or they were scared? Okay, this man he's killing this dude. Did nobody have the courage to pull out a gun and defend that? You can't defend that man. The man is killing this man right in front of you, and everybody with a phone. Oh man, get off him! He can't breathe, and it's that. He is the symbol of power, and black women are gonna fuck the symbol of power. I don't know how old you are, but you don't remember Whoopi Goldberg with her cracker loving ass. She said on I don't even know if it was on the View, but she was on talk show a long time ago. Said if she could ever fuck the president, she don't care who it was. Go back to George Washington, or JFK, or Trump. She said if she got a chance to go and fuck in the White House, she gonna go in there and fuck, and while he ain't looking, she gonna call her initials in the headboard.
Well, that must have been Whoopi years ago. They ain't Whoopi now. I will tell you that. Whoopi is like, she's on some, I'm speaking against white supremacy. You know, she on that now.
Oh, okay then. Yeah. All right, well.
But hey, bro,
she came 180.
Yeah, I appreciate your call, man. I'm gonna see if I get some more of these calls in. All right.
All right, man. Peace, man.
Peace, man. Peace. Yeah, man. He brought some information. I wanted y'all to hear, just to see if y'all had heard any of the information provided by the brother that called in just now. Yeah, you can't be out here fighting the police, man, under no circumstances. Because if they take your life, then what? You've been fighting them, so it wasn't a situation where, you were defenseless. You know, once you fight a police officer, it's a wrap. Okay. You fight back by being able to come together as a people. You don't do anything individually to fight back, because no one's going to support you unless you're a victim. Unless you unarmed or something like that. All right? Yo, Chantil, what's up? Make sure y'all like the stream, man. Lines are open. But I want to call in. I think we need a lady to call in. Y'all only want to call in when the women call in. Yeah, but we talking about Western women and choosing these dysfunctional males. I want to know from y'all. Why do you think that this is? Why do you think this practice is going on? Yo, what's going on?
What's going on, Jay? It's Robert.
What's good, Robert?
Nothing much, man. Just want to share a quick story with you real quick and everybody in the chat.
Okay.
When I was in college, I used to think like, oh man, like, how am I gonna get a girl? How am I gonna get a girl?
Mm-hmm.
And I used to think I had to have a bunch of money. I had to be tall. I had to be, six-pack abs. And as I got older, what I started to notice is there's a lot of women out here, like you just said, they're dating these guys with some thug in them, with some hood in them.
Right.
And these guys are broke, living home with their mothers, no cars. And it's like, when I started discovering, even when I became a teacher after I graduated college, there's a lot of women out here supporting these dudes. Like these schools, a lot of these female teachers are supporting guys. Like, it's mind-boggling how many of these women are actually out here. They're the financial breadwinners. Yeah. And then they tell you all of a sudden, oh, well, I just fell out of love with him. No, you didn't fall out of love with him. You just got tired of supporting him. Right. And that's why you see a lot of these women acting out. Yeah. And it's just like, come on, man. Like, you didn't fall out of love. You just got tired of being an ATM. Because you've been supporting a deadbeat. And then on top of that, to make matters worse, you had a baby with this guy. You can't go to the attorney general because you can't get something from nothing.
Right.
So I mean, it's incredible how you see that.
Yeah, I think that's the main thing. They do get tired of supporting these guys. At some point, they're gonna fall out of love or lust, and it's gonna be about bills. Because that's why these women be so stressed out at the job. Like, it's because they're taking care of not only themselves and their children, they're taking care of this grown man who they know does not appreciate that. He's not doing anything to help his situation.
Exactly. And then that's why they start pulling like these Laura Harveys, these Sierras. Oh, I got to go get me a nice guy. I got to find a good guy. Now they want a good guy after you've been had the thug for all throughout your 20s. And the other thing, on a random side note, one of the saddest things I heard Jasmine was telling me about one of her friends from high school, and it's just so sad. The friend has been on government assistance since she graduated high school, and they graduated high school in 2003.
Wow.
So she's been on government assistance. All her sisters are on government assistance. The mother was on government assistance, and possibly the grandmother was on government assistance. So you've got 3 generations of women on government assistance, all single moms, all have no jobs, and it's just like, wow, like that's like the saddest thing I've ever. But that's the goal of a lot of these women. Get on government assistance. The government's gonna take care of me. Have a bunch of babies with a bunch of useless ass men. These goddamn beta males that want to be thugs, walk around here with guns with their pants sliding around their ass, but really ain't about nothing. That's all they want to be.
Yeah, and that's what they choose. That's what they like choosing, because they're like, that's why they do that, because they want to. A lot of these girls, like you say, they have children when they're teenagers. They get on government assistance as soon as they can, so they can move in their boyfriends from high school or whatnot from neighborhood, because he ain't got nowhere to go. He's probably homeless or done been kicked out. So that's why they do that, and it becomes a cycle. And then the young child, the children grow up, especially the daughter. She sees her mother on assistance. She's like, wow, I want to be able to lay up around the house and watch reality TV and be on Instagram and Facebook all day,
Yeah, and I guess the last thing I'm going to tell you, and everybody in the chat, a lot of these women are hoping that they are like my friend Sarah, who, she dated one of those bad boys, white guy subsequently. And he, as soon as she got pregnant, he left. He moved to New York, left her here in Houston by herself. But she met, our mutual friend Steve, black man.
Okay.
He was there throughout the pregnancy. They fell in love, and, he was there when the baby was born. He became an awesome stepfather, that had a baby of their own. And they have a beautiful family. And I think a lot of women think that that's going to be them, that they're going to have that kind of magical ending, this Disney-like ending. And what they got to realize is that's probably, 5% of women? 10% maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You're not gonna be that 10%. It's unfortunately, you're gonna be that 90% where you're just gonna be, as they say, for the streets.
Right.
But thank you for taking my call. Jasmine says hi.
All right.
And hey, man, keep doing what you're doing.
All right, Robert. Appreciate it. And shout out to Jasmine too. All right.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You too, man. Shout out to Robert to call in. Yo, what's going on?
That's gonna be them, but they're gonna have that time.
Hello.
Is it Claire?
Yeah, this is Jada Black. What's going on?
Hi, it's Tamara.
Tamara? What's up, Tamara?
Nothing. I just wanted to add my 2 cents to the topic that we're talking about.
All right.
Yeah. So with this bad boy thing, I've noticed like there's this like sort of like fetish for hood people, hood guys. Like I see all the time on like social media, and they'll be like, oh, get you a hood guy because he will sleep with his gun and protect you. And I'm like, what does that even mean? Is it a hood guy supposed to be someone who lives in the hood? Is it like a personality trait? It's just like very confusing to me. And I feel like all these things happen because people are very lazy mentally, and it's easier to be a dysfunctional person and like just like stay in dysfunction and everything, because if you actually want to be responsible and do things the right way, you actually have to work on your mental and like your mindset and do the work. And I feel like they don't want to do the work, so they just end up like going after all of these guys that are not any good and waste their like young years and have kids with them. And then when they turn like 30 or 40 and they're like, okay, I want a good guy now. No, that's not how it works. Like, that's just not the way it's supposed to be. So that's what I feel about the situation.
Yeah.
I feel like, accountability has to be from both ends.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like, it gets like, you can't even defend it anymore, because it's like, how did you end up being this guy's fifth baby mama? Like, what did you think was going to be your situation? Did you think, that she's going to just magically change because of you? He didn't change for the last 4 ladies, so you're not any different,
Right.
And it's also with like social media, like painting a very like false picture of what life's supposed to be like. Everyone thinks, this is where like the fun is, or this is the way life is supposed to be, when it's like completely not true. So, but I mean, Lori Harvey, she's not like your regular girl. She has money and fame, so she'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just feel bad for the girls who live vicariously through her and think the outcome will be the same, because it's not going to be the same. You know, Lori Harvey. Lori Harvey's dad has money. You don't probably don't even know your dad. No offense. They
are praising her, especially when she revealed she was with Michael B. Jordan. They was all praising her, and they're talking about how she has the skills to get all these men that these women would want to get, and they're praising that,
Yeah, and they also praise her mom as well, because her mom was they call her Lady Heroin, I guess, because her mom, Lori Harvey's dad was a drug dealer. I think he's actually in jail, like her real dad. And her mom used to, I guess she was with his cousin, and she had a kid with his cousin. Then his cousin went to jail, so she got with Lori Harvey's dad and had a kid with him. Then they both went to jail, and somehow she managed to get Steve Harvey. So I think Lori probably learned that happiness from her mom and stuff, but it's ridiculous. It's just not normal for everyone. It's not feasible. No. I mean, Lori Harvey's very gorgeous. She has money, so she can get away with it. Regular people, sorry, we can't do that.
No, they can't.
Yeah, that's what I have to say. That's what I wanted to say.
Okay. All right, Tamara. Well, thanks for the call in, all right?
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye. Shout out to Tamara for calling in. I think this is Tamara from the chat. She calls in from the chat. Yo, what's going on?
How you doing, Jay? My name's Raj. I'm from Chicago.
What's going on, Raj?
Pretty much, how you doing, sir? I have basically a lot of experience dealing with these type of women, especially here in Chicago. You can pretty much assume that every time you hear about Chicago, the only thing you can think about is a Pookie and Ray Ray or some Keisha getting him locked up or killed. And I'm 34, about to be 35 in the end of the year. And all my life, for the love of me, and I ain't got no kids, and I'm not in a serious relationship right now, but for the life of me, I've seen it with my own family, friends, and everybody. Like, I listen to my aunts, I listen to my own sisters, how they promote these so-called thugs, dudes, and I'm like, what's about them that gets y'all so-called, like, enthralled? They could never, ever give me a concrete answer. They like, it's just him. It's just his swag. He can protect me. He can show me things. I'm like, show you what? How to bag up some dope and shoot a gun or something like that? Like, what about your kids, though? Like I said, I'm 35. I want to have kids when I was young. I didn't want to be one of these old Gen Xers or baby boomer dudes out here walking around with little kids. And I was like, all right, so I tried to buckle down. I stayed out of trouble, kept my nose clean and everything, always kept a job. And look, I'm over 6 feet, 200, I'm 200 pounds even. You know, I'm in decent shape and all that good stuff. I live on the south side. I see dudes that's 5'6", 5'7". No short shade to the short guys. They walk around with their pants hanging down. They got a little gun hanging off their waist, but they got all the chicks. And I'm sitting here like, how?
I don't know what it is either, man. These guys are dressing more and more like these girls, but they're still attracted to that. I guess because they have, I don't know, they guess because they are claimed to be street guys. I don't know, man.
All right, I'm gonna kill you with this. I work in a hotel and I work right next door to a nightclub of some sort. Now, when women, so they put a picture of masculinity of us, basically wearing a white beater, a Yankee fitted hat, and some Timberlands. All right, mind you, they call that masculinity, right? So when they call that toxic masculinity, when it doesn't benefit them no more, and they want to go over to the other side, say, as far as like a woman now. Why is that when they go to mess with women, they don't mess around with the dudes that trying to walk around like Barack Obama? They don't want to mess with dudes that's trying to walk like Hill Harper. They actually get the identical kind of dudes that they so-called toxic, and they go ahead and
man, they are hypocrites. All the women talking about toxic masculinity. Look at the guys they date. I mean, they are hypocritical.
Yeah, my dad, he was basically, if my father was, so my father 87. If he was around my age right now in this time period, he'll clean up. All I used to hear is how he was a gambling, womanizing, so-called abusive man. Okay, mind you, this man got 10 kids. He was married twice. You know what I'm saying? I'm the last of 10. Every time I they say that he was this bad guy. While to my siblings, he was this bad guy. He was doing all this because I said, so what did your mother see in him to lay down with him 10 times to make y'all? What did my mother see in him to lay down one time to make me? I mean, is he that aggressive? Did he put a gun to their head? Because I'm seeing him now. I'm like, I'm not getting that from him. I don't get that vibe, but he told me the truth. He was like, yeah, I was like that. He told me the truth, so at least I'm like, but this pattern been going on even before the 80s. This was going on in the 50s, man. And I hate to tell people with so-called quote unquote about their grandmas or great granddaddies talking about they was together for 50, 60 some years. Look, they ain't had no choice. They were trying to come up from the majority of black people lived in the South. Let's get that point blank, period. Yeah, we have people up in the North, but the majority of black folks came from the South. And I hate to tell y'all, if your daddy or great-granddaddy or great-granddaddy didn't have no way to get your grandma out of the South, he was never going to take her. Serious that. So they wanted them kind of dudes back then.
Yeah, it's I think that times have definitely changed, and we are going backwards, and I think about how backwards we are going, and women still are choosing these guys. You know, what's traditionally.
Hey, Jay, I was gonna say, Jay, are you a history buff?
Oh yeah.
All right, so you do know, like, after Reconstruction, right, that basically, I think it was either you or somebody that mentioned about the Dred Scott case or the 14th Amendment. All right, so imagine that we still ain't probably got inalienable rights, and we still consider 3/5 of a human being. You know what I'm saying? On paper, mind you, we still dealing with the so everything goes in a loop as far as time. Basically, we dealing with the same problem that we dealing with today that they was dealing with over 100 and 120 years ago. Everything to the T, except just that we got smartphones and they just got the telephone. That's the only difference. So this ain't a new problem. This has been going repetitively. It's just that we have historical disastrous events that made people come together. So World War II made us all come back together, calm down, and all that. Like, we got to sit together. What do you think is about to happen now? You know, we might be either going to war or having some kind of depression to get us back together, because that's the only way I can see us actually getting back and holding hands again.
Well, if history tells us anything, the only thing that brings people together is war and conflict. That's the only thing that tends to bring us together.
How are we gonna come together? And we've been at war with each other for 40 years. So it's like, even if we do get like some kind of race war getting off in this country, because it's gonna be like a civil and world war at the same time. So you mean tell me that I can't even look at y'all as my allies if some pop off? I got to worry about y'all trying to go ahead and slit my throat just for survival, instead of us coming together and defending our land, defending our identity against our oppressors. That's crazy.
Yeah,
that is crazy.
We are divided. We're divided people, man. We just don't get, especially when you got people with hate in their blood that hate on anybody in their own group that's successful. Too much of that's going on. Too much of that's going on, and you got to deal with that. That's the worst thing to deal with.
That's a cancer in itself, especially when you among it's like majority of us not in a city populated like New York, where you got multiracial people in close proximity with each other. I live in Chicago. Still might be considered the third largest city in America, but it's still one of the most segregated cities in America. Like, pretty much we all. Black folks either in two sections, either you're on the south side, west side, and we only got like a small population on the north side. But even then, we still in close proximity of each other. It's not like an instance like I'm black, I live right next door to a Latino, and right next door is an Asian. Nope, it's like black, 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 black. You go into another neighborhood, white, white, white. Another place, Asian. Yeah, you might have one particular part of the city where it's all mixed, but that's only used for a ploy to say that we gentrify, that we are like a mixed, close-knit city, and we accept everybody, which is not the case.
Yeah. Hey, bro, I'm gonna go ahead and go, man, but I appreciate you calling in. All right.
Oh yeah, yep. I'll holler at you on Facebook, bro.
All right, peace, man. All right. Shout out to him. Yo, what's going on? Hello?
Yeah.
Yo, you're live. What's going on?
Yeah, man. This is definitely more touching.
I can't hear you, man.
That's okay. Hold on one second. Sorry about that, everyone.
Yeah. Sounds like you
just
20 feet away from the phone. Yeah, you there?
Yeah, my brother, I'm here. Sorry about that, everyone. I'm not trying to hold your time. I just want to say much respect to you, man. I follow your Patreon. I follow your platform and everything.
Appreciate it.
No problem. No problem, man. As of African Americans, as men in this nation, the best thing we could do is sit back and we evaluate ourselves, to understand our worth. We got to sit back and quit bowing down and being afraid to speak out. And with that being said, a lot of, as men, whenever you speak out,
you
got so much to lose, especially you got a family to depend on. You got, child support, and those different issues. You got a lot to lose out here. But if we start taking a stand and did exactly what happened inside the 60s, the 50s, Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, they had families as well too. So the number one thing that a black man to say, well, if I speak out, I do this and that, I'm going to lose it all. Well, guess what? We got to do something, We're going towards an environment where it's looking scarce. And it ain't going to be too much for us to do. In a few years, with everything what that gentleman was saying, he come from Chicago, I'm right next door to him in Gary, Indiana. So we pretty much neighbors. I deal with the same type of environment he deal with. And at this point, we literally done had our nuts cut off. And you can't say anything that speak against no type of code right here, right now.
Right.
So the best thing we could do right now is, like he said, first of all, we don't stick together. I'm an airplane mechanic. Just make this real quick and cut it off. I'm a mechanic. And one thing I see right now is this right here. When I walk inside my building, it's less than 2% black people inside that whole place. It's over 300 workers that they're hiring, 250 within the next month, 2 to 3 months, I'd say. And with that being said, the Mexicans, the Asians, everybody else in there stick together, but none of the black people, none of the black mechanics want to share no knowledge with nobody in there. And that sets a tone, and that says something. Every other culture sticks together when they come to this country except us. So until we learn how to stick together and the men become men again, we will never, as a race, be together. And that's all I want to say. I want to say God blessings to everybody on the chat. Thank you for letting me voice my opinion. God blessings to you and blessings to your family as well, man.
Appreciate it, man, and blessings to you. And thanks for the call and support, all right?
No problem, brother. God bless.
God bless, man. Shout out to him with the call in. Yeah, Nick Cannon is running through. He's been running through some women out here, but you know he doesn't have too many baby mamas allegedly. That's why Nick Cannon got all those jobs. You know, Nick Cannon got like 5 jobs, 6 jobs. He hosting a couple different shows. I believe he still does radio. I think Nick Cannon is an underrated actor. I think he does well in serious roles. You know, if you ask me, but you know. Yeah, man, but overall, man, I just want y'all to understand that when you choose the wrong person, at the end of the day, you are responsible for that relationship working out. Stop choosing men that just want to have a good time with you. You need to grow out of that when you are, I would say when you're going towards your late 20s, early 30s, you got to grow out of that. All that I'm dating to have a good time, because once you get in your 30s, man, priorities will change. Your mindset will change. Right? Now, people are going to listen to this and they're going to say, well, you're blaming the women. With the single mother rate that's out there, especially in the black community, who else are you going to look at? Who else are you going to look at? I mean, you're intaking all those energies, women. When you deal with these dysfunctional males, you're taking in all those different energies. And I'm going to probably go into it on my next live stream. I'm going to talk about how these Western women are really going crazy. I told y'all the other stream about the chick that her boyfriend hopped on top of her car, and he hopped on front with the driver's seat in the front, and he was like staring at her, telling her to open the door. Her new boyfriend was in the passenger seat recording and laughing because he thought it was funny. And when you drove off, you saw the new boyfriend look just like the old boyfriend, dread head, same skin tone. These women have a type that is dysfunctional. And the girl, by the way, was a Caucasian. She was a Caucasian female. We had a Becky, or what y'all would call a mudshark, who date these dysfunctional black males. They'll break up with one and get with another one. Because who sits in the passenger seat while her girlfriend's ex-boyfriend is trying to get into the car, record and laugh? What type of dysfunctional male is that? Your girl might get assaulted and you on the passenger seat laughing. This is what is being raised out here. And these women are dating males like this. Both your old boyfriend and your new boyfriend is crazy. And probably broke too, because he's in the passenger seat. So you know he ain't got no car or a place to stay. So yes, we have to look at the men these women are choosing. Why not? Are we to ignore it? Are we to ignore the type of people that these women are choosing? So, yes, these women do need to do better. I'm sorry. When you're dating men who look exactly the same, that might be a problem. That lets me know that you have a type, and then you wonder why when you get older, you're not dating you're not marriage material, you're not even long-term relationship material. Shout out to Shah87. Nigerians stick together, but I want FBA to do the same. That's because they have a culture. They know what their culture is. That's why they stick together. People in America, we're so scattered. We don't really have a culture among ourselves like that. We really don't. But my culture is being an American. I am native of this country. I am native of this country. My culture is in being American. I don't subscribe to any of these labels that they want to, or boxes they try to put us in. I am an American native of this land. And you cannot tell me otherwise. That's my culture. Red, white, and blue. If that ain't you, oh well. That's why I have my flag right next to my name on my profile on Twitter. Shout out to Shaw. He said Michael B. Jordan is the last train leaving Lore. The last train leaving for Lore. Could be.
Michael B. Jordan is the last train leaving for Lori.
We'll see how that lasts. Yeah, put your American flags in the chat room. Put your American flags in the chat room. We're Americans first. Put all these goofy labels. I'm from this land. This is where my people from. This is where my people are from. My people are from. I'm native of this country. This continent. Yes, I do identify with American culture. I'm an American. I'm not from no other country. I'm from here. My parents are from here. Grandparents are from here. Man, we go centuries in this country. Now, I may have a few people who are outside of that, who might be from a different country, maybe from the Caribbean, maybe they're from the continent of Africa, but I'm from here. Put your flags in the chat room. I'm an American. If you are from another country and you are a citizen, you're an American citizen. Shout out to all the American citizens out here, people who they may have been born elsewhere, but they bleed red, white, and blue. Okay? Shout out to all the citizens. Shout out to all the citizens. All the people that call this place home. That's what we identify as. That's what we identify as. I don't want to be from no other place. Y'all can go wherever you want to go. This is where I'm from. You know? Y'all want to claim places you've never been. I don't claim places I've never been. Y'all out here claiming countries you've never been to. Go back to those countries and try to claim them. That's the stupidest. It's the stupidest thing. The stupidest thing I've ever seen. People claiming places they've never been. I don't claim places I've never been. Y'all out here claiming. It's crazy. And what's funny is that when I talk about Western women, right? I'm not just talking about women here in America. I'm talking about women from the UK, women from Canada, South America, even some of these Asian, Southeast Asian countries, Australia, Western Africa, Western mind state women. I mean, you got attention seeking everywhere. You got crazy, mentally unstable people everywhere. Yeah. Rep your American flag. Don't let nobody shame you. These people are from countries they ran from, but they want to talk about, well, you ain't got no culture. Well, if you are an American or American citizen, you grew up here, you were raised here, born here. This is your culture. We represent it on the 4th of every July. And y'all do. All you people that claim that you hate being from here, why you repping 4th of July then? Why you at 4th of July parties? Come on, man. Y'all can't shame me. I rep the red, white, and blue. And I wouldn't rep no other country. But salute to all my peoples from all over the world who listen to me, who get where I'm coming from. You have to embrace where you are and who you are, you know, and what you call home and what you know, who you are, what you know. Y'all know y'all gonna be repping 4th of July out here acting like you don't want to be here. Yeah, right. Yeah, they out there for the food for the 4th of July. Yeah. Don't get it twisted. Salute to everybody that's here. Salute to everybody that's here. Been a good audience today. And ladies, get rid of this Western mind state of feminism and SJWism and feminism and is all these other isms. Make the best choices you in your life, man. You know. Make the best choices in your life. Don't, you know, be careful not to be regretful of the decisions that you make. Because ultimately it's up to you, you know, where you want your life to go. Ultimately it's up to you. And I hope all of you can make the best choice of your life. She got money, bags, gifts from your misogynist leader. Dated a billionaire. His son and America's sexiest man alive. She can't date who? Well, yeah, listen, everybody's dated those men. So what? That's not an accomplishment. How many other women have dated those men? Has she gotten the ring? Has she married those men? You know, a lot of times you can only go up but so much before you go down. Shout out to Fear to None. Appreciate it. They will be out there wearing red, white, and blue outfits, eating barbecue and watching fireworks. That's exactly where they're going to be. That's exactly where they're going to be. White patriarchy plus black matriarchy equals canocracy, BGS. All right. Let's see. I remember you started your channel now. I see it's grown rapidly. Yes, it has, Green Tea. Have you been to chats before? I think I've seen you before, Green Tea. Yeah, it has. And, what's crazy is that this is my second Jada Black live stream channel. So I had to rebuild this one. But, yeah, King Damn, I can only, I like to speak on stupidity. It's a teachable moment. But yeah, but as of content, it's all about let's see. It's all about change, right? So there's gonna be noticeable changes. Okay, let me get you out of here. You have a nice one, okay? You act right. Maybe, just maybe, I'll bring you back here. But not right now. Now, changes are going to happen, man. My content is going to change. I told y'all that moving forward, you're going to notice some changes. Because I noticed that certain avenues are being, a lot of people are speaking on it in their own way. But I'm the type of person, man, there's other areas to conquer. There's other areas to move into. And that's what I do. There's other ways to move around and other areas where I can go and I can look towards building something. Right? That's what I'm about. I'm about seeking opportunities. My content is all about doing things and taking risks and speaking about different things and expanding. And that's what you're going to see. That's what you're going to see. Nothing but expansion, change, but it's all for the better. It's all for the better. It's all about the reach, and it's all about tackling certain topics. Shout out to Mike Larry, just showing love. Keep doing what you do. Thanks, Mike. So that's what you're gonna see. You're gonna see me go into different areas. But it's going to be fun and exciting at the same time. Declaring war on the BS narratives that have been going on against us. Changing my name from Taryn Never, but congratulations, Jaye. Okay. Taryn Never, okay. Appreciate that, Green Tea. But yes, all about, because sometimes you don't want to just talk about the same things. You want to be able to do something different. It is time that we declare war on these weak, fake, woke personalities. That's what I'm looking forward to doing. It's time. It's time to move forward in something that's a little bit different. And that's what you're going to see. You're going to see me going and hammering away at certain narratives. Meanwhile, still coming here to my Jada Black Livestreams 2 channel and speaking on these particular topics. Speaking on these Western women, because we're speaking on what the women are becoming. What's crazy is that people who may not be religious, they always refer to the Bible. That's always interested me. They always refer to Babylon. They always refer to certain chapters, maybe Revelations, or maybe the first books, where they speak on debauchery. They speak on the creation of the lore of certain personalities like a Moses or a Joshua. Sodom and Gomorrah with Lot. And they always refer to the Bible. When things are wicked in the world, they refer to religious scripture. I'm not going to tell you I'm the deepest in religious talks, but I know a thing or two, and I know when people are using religious scriptures and to describe everyday life. And have we been disappointed? To all the naysayers of Christianity, have we been proven wrong by what has been put in the Bible? Has it not, in some subtle ways, come to pass? Brother against brother, father against son, all debauchery and dysfunction, worshiping idols.
Love the content, bro, especially the way you constantly check Jim Hill because man does.
Free said
she
that
deserve it.
He said Doc Hollow. I'm gonna keep checking her. And I'm gonna keep hammering away at that. Absolutely. I'm gonna keep going in. Definitely. Have y'all noticed that people are referring more and more back to the Bible, even if they're religious? They could be atheists, they could be Muslim, but they tend to always want to reference things that are in the Bible, even though they say it doesn't. It's not real. It's made up. It's not true. But why are you always refer to it? Are we in the end times? Have we become Sodom and Gomorrah? Just a different time. It seems like it, right? All this groupthink, group debauchery. She can twerk all she wants to. You know? These girls can date who they want when they're teenagers. Your sons can be girls. Shout out to the Truth Seeker. Do your thing, bro. Thanks, man. Keep your Air Force Ones on their neck. Absolutely. Black Air Force Ones. Keep them black Air Force Ones on their neck. People always want to say the Bible's not real, it's made up. But look at what's going on now, and look at what has been put in the Bible, and look at the parallels. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but people reference the Bible even though they're not religious. They say they're not Christian, but you're constantly referring to it as if what you read is what you're seeing now. We are becoming that. We are like Lot and his family trying to escape. But there are those of us that keep looking back. But it's not fire and brimstone we see. It's fear of change that we see. And that fear of change makes us not want to move forward. It makes us want to continue to look backwards. So never have regret, but never look back is what I would say. Never look back. Because too many of us are looking back. Too many of us are looking back. Because we want to be in that group, right? We want to be a part of something. We want to be a part of what we see. We think that that's fun. So we want to be a part of it. Even to our own detriment. So I don't know. Yeah, man, things have been turned on top of his head, man. Things have been turned on top of his head. Y'all looking backwards, man. Just like with people with me, you know, people still kind of doubt me. People may ridicule me. But you'll be the same ones looking back. You'll be the same ones that get caught up like a sheep. And you're going to get left behind. It's like me. Like, I have my foot on the gas. And there's going to be people that's going to get left behind. There's going to be people who I'm going to purposely leave behind. You know? Because I'm the type of person, man. I understand people and I understand their intentions. That's why certain people are here today and they're gone tomorrow. Because some people just don't fit where you're going. You know, sometimes you have to shake things up. You have to shake foundations. You know what I'm saying? You know, sometimes you have to, you know, do something drastic to get people's attention to say, hey, this is how things are going to be done. You know? Some of y'all make it so easy too. Make it so easy. So easy to be left behind. But I do think that the scriptures are worth reading and it's worth heeding of warnings. There's a lot of warnings in the scriptures. And a lot of us have not heeded those warnings, and now look where we're at. We're on the brink of just a total collapse. This is a total collapse, right? That's what we're on the brink of. Total collapse, like, you know, really destroying ourselves. That's where we're at. That's where we're at. Too much jealousy and envy. Too much self-hate. The women don't respect themselves. The men are not respectable. And the young ones have to grow up to look up to that. And it's not about controlling a woman's sexuality. It's about women being able to control themselves for the sake of their children. And for the sake of the young people around them, especially the young girls. You don't want these girls to be sexualized? Stop sexualizing yourself. Stop sexualizing yourself. Understand where you're at. Understand that, you know, you need to really love yourself first. And a lot of these women, unfortunately, don't have that. They don't have that. But these are we're being warned over and over, man. And we just refuse to see it. We refuse to see the warnings. And we're not going to understand until we're faced with the reality that society has gone completely crazy. And then there's no turning back. There's no fixing it. There's no do-over. It's done. It's over. You got a lot of ignorance out there, man. A lot of people just ignorant. Socially ignorant. Politically ignorant. They just don't understand how good they have it. But I think that when you have no when you don't have any, let me see. if you don't have any, not any, but when you are complacent, and I think a lot of us have grown complacent. Like we've been safe. We haven't had to worry about where we're gonna get our next meal or whether we're gonna have conflicts with countries. Like, everywhere we go is always somebody there to help us. We don't know what it's like to hustle and to have to depend on ourselves or people in our community. A family, the children having a father in the household to rely on. Never really had that. Some people, a lot of these young kids don't have that. They got a bunch of single mothers. You know what's funny? I be seeing these posts, right? These women on Instagram, right? They'll put up posts about how they respect men, right? They love men, especially black men. They'll talk about how they have black sons, they have black brothers, they got black uncles, their father's black, but they never mention that they have a black husband or a black boyfriend. How come every man around you is black except for the man that you are in a relationship with? Or do you even date those men? I be seeing the post. I've seen that numerous times where they put up these posts talking about, we love black men, we honor black men, we appreciate black men, even though they are, left-leaning liberals. But they'll put that kind of post up. Then you look at the description or the what they put under the post, and they'll talk about how they have all these black men in their life, but they never mention the black man they're supposed to be in a relationship with. Because usually these women ain't in no relationship with no black man. These women are just single mothers who are out here seeking attention. They deal with men, but they don't have a significant man in their life. It's like, how can you claim you love these men, black melanated men, but you ain't got one? Of course you're going to have black siblings and black family members if you're coming from a black family, but you don't have a man that's black. It seems like you're just putting up that post, just a virtue signal to the thirsty males that follow you, just to see what they say. Because these women care more about getting their daily dose of attention from males than they do of actually going out and finding a man for a relationship. Shout out to everybody that's here. Salute to the chat. I think that's it for me. Thank y'all for tuning in. I appreciate it. Make sure you like the stream if you haven't. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Also, subscribe to the Patreon. You can email me if you want to send me anything. My email is wide open to send emails to. And also you can follow me on social media. All right. Salute to y'all. And I'll see y'all on the next live stream. Y'all have a good night.